all sense of reality and enter another world. Remember, do not underestimate the power of PlayStation.
Beyond.
That's good. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Beyond episode 211. Hard to believe we've hit that. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside He Only Does Everything, Colin Moriarty.
Hello.
The PlayStation powerhouse, Ryan Clements.
Remind me to change the title of this episode after we're done recording.
Why? What'd you do?
I labeled it 10,
210.
forgetting about the
Comic-Con
yeah.
one. The Comic-Con one's where you lost it. Thanks to
Yeah.
everybody who came out to
I
Comic-Con.
named it Nintendo
We'll talk about
Voice
that in a
Chat.
second. We have two special guests, guys. First off, two special guests. You never see that anymore.
I know,
We never
it
do
never
five-person
happens.
podcast. This is the first time we've dusted off the old headset. Using the old headset is none other than David Ballard, Naughty Dog environment artist on Uncharted 3.
What's up?
Nothing.
Welcome.
How you doing?
Good.
Now this is actually, we say, you're here. This is your first time talking into a microphone for a long time. Blah blah. You were at Beyond 200.
Yes, absolutely.
You came out. You got a standing ovation, I believe.
It was
You and
pretty,
Ninja XYZ.
Yeah, it was deer in the headlights moment for me for sure.
You and David, you can actually move that. I was like kidding about putting it that far away. You can move it closer.
Bring it in.
There you go.
Bring it in.
No, too close. It's like at the beginning of
the
Aladdin.
same distance that it
We
was.
haven't used these things in so long. Just a little bit more.
A little bit more.
Inch it in.
Inch it in.
All right, now
Bring
say
it in.
stuff. Now say something.
Hello.
That's
There
good.
we go.
Look at that.
Yeah.
There
You
you
just
go.
edited me out the entire thing anyways.
yeah.
No, that's fine. Don't worry. This is a conversational podcast. People are ready for us to not sound good and screw up. All right. And next, here's where we test out if I'll screw up this last name. Next up, Kurt Marginal.
You messed it up.
I did not. That was good. That's exactly how it was.
No, that's correct.
You are a Naughty Dog game designer on Uncharted 3.
I am.
You designed everything from the cargo plane, which people have seen in trailers, to a part that they haven't seen, so we won't
That
talk
is
about it.
true. There's parts of the game that people haven't seen.
And that's the best part of Uncharted 3. And that me and Colin have talked about a lot. I've talked to you guys about it. I've talked to Ryan. I've talked to anybody who will listen in the IGN office because I'm under strict embargoes. My favorite part about Uncharted 3 is the unexpected. I'll leave it at that. If you want to hear everything about what I think of Uncharted 3, you need to check out the Uncharted 3 review Monday, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time.
My God,
It's finally happening.
Greg, you forgot to tell the listeners the most important fact about these two gentlemen.
Okay.
Very handsome men.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh no, very true. Very
too bad
true.
it's not
I
video.
agree.
So
yeah,
true.
Too bad. We should video
Better
live
enough
stream this.
stuff there.
It would have been harder to cut out all the stuff we start saying about when we start slipping into giant Uncharted 3 spoilers. If you guys are in town, you're up from LA. What are you doing here?
We're here for the AMC event, man.
Oh, that's right, Uncharted 3 in
play it
3D.
First in 3D. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I hear IGN's doing a live stream from that Thursday tonight.
I guess they will.
They're
they'll be
hosting
able
it.
to see if we really are handsome gentlemen. 'cause
Exactly,
we'll be
yeah.
on
IGN Prime members, of course, can come to IGN.com Thursday night, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And yes, I know we're cutting it close. If you're listening to this podcast right now, you probably should run to a computer. But,
Book your flight right now.
No, you don't have to book it. It's you can watch it on the internet through IGN Prime.
Yeah, no, but if you wanted to actually go there.
Oh well, don't do that. No,
Yeah,
you're
you're
too
late.
late. They're all sold out.
Oh,
That's the
yeah.
whole point. But Colin Moriarty and myself will be there hosting a live stream.
But can they go there?
No,
All right.
it's sold out.
Got it.
Clements, you won't be there
Okay, yeah.
because you're packing.
Right.
Where are you going?
I'm going to go to New York.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my
I-
gosh.
can I-
All right, yeah.
you're going to see a cool game.
I'm
You're
gonna-
gonna go. You're doing a Rockstar
No,
exclusive.
fuck that, man.
There's another comic convention.
This weekend is awesome sauce weekend for Ryan Clements.
All right, lay it on
So
me.
here's what's gonna happen.
Smother
I
the jam
am
on the bread.
just smothering it all over the place. There's so much jam here. I am going to New York City this weekend. I fly out on Friday. Here's what's going to happen. I am seeing a massive K-pop concert on Sunday. This is extremely exciting to me. So this is really nothing to do with video games, but I realize this is a fantastic opportunity for me because in my 4 years at IGN, I have never once had a meet and greet on the East Coast, even though I'm from the East Coast. So that changes this
Where
weekend.
are you from?
Buffalo, New York,
Oh wow.
Below.
I'm
where
from the
nothing
East
happens. So
Except for the Bills, who are 4-2 this year.
cool. I don't
Because
know-
they had
I don't
Brad
even know what
Smith.
that means.
Mizzou alum.
Very nice. Cool.
So this K-pop concert takes place at Madison Square
Madison
Garden,
Square Garden,
the home of
on-
the shitty-ass New York Rangers.
I know that I have a task at hand that I need to fulfill for you, and I will get it done. I just keep forgetting the year that the banner is.
Don't worry, you won't have much trouble finding the Stanley Cup banners hanging in the rafters of Madison Square
Okay.
Garden.
All right. Good. As long as this
1994.
is easy, you have to keep in mind this is going on my knowledge of sports. Anyway, we get off topic.
Okay.
Let's return.
It's a conversational podcast. Give the details for your meet and greet.
On Saturday.
Yeah.
Because I was not able to come to New York Comic Con and hang out with Greg and Colin. If you guys want to meet me and you're in or around the New York City area, or you want to drive thousands of miles to come see me, but probably should start driving now if it was thousands of miles. It is going to be Saturday night at 8 p.m. And that's all I'm going to tell you.
Where's it going to be?
It's somewhere in New York.
Oh, are you going to tweet it or something?
I have all the details in the story, which I just put up last night. You can find it on ps3.ign.com. It just says Talk Games and K-Pop with Clements. But it is at the Hotel Stanford, which is this little tiny hotel in Koreatown. And it's inside the hotel at their bar called Established 1986. That's the name. I think that's just the name of the bar.
It's a fine name.
It's a fantastic name. So that's 8 p.m. this coming Saturday, the 22nd. If you want to meet me, talk with IGN people, I will have some stuff to give away. Please come and hang out, and it will be awesome. More details, of course, in the story on ps3.ign.com. It's 21 and over. Bring money for beer because I'm not buying drinks for everybody.
Now, I'm sure this is going to sound like a loaded question at first glance, so don't get mad at me for bringing it up. But I want you to know. So, are you staying at this hotel as well?
No.
Okay, good call. We need to clarify that. You don't want people just calling the Hotel Stanford all day for you.
So what this came of is it's a K-pop concert. I'm going to be madly excited. This will be the night before the concert, so I'm going to be super pumped. So if you guys want to see me in my fucking prime, my partying prime, you come. And I just found I Googled Koreatown bars because I thought it'd be cool since it's a K-pop concert. Go to Koreatown, go to a bar there, and this random hotel bar came up, and it was really highly rated on Yelp. Everybody was like, it's almost like you travel through time because you walk into this dingy bar and then the door opens, and it's almost like it's the same thing of it. This one dude compared it to in a sci-fi movie when they open a door in a hotel and suddenly you're on the fucking Appalachian Mountains or something. That's the feeling you get when you walk into this bar.
How many?
Those aren't very impressive.
How many
All right, whatever. I don't know. I tried to choose a mountain name. Are they not even mountains?
No, they are.
When I bite into a York peppermint patty, I'm sent to a hotel in Korea. You had a question there, Kurt.
I was going to ask how many dollar signs on Yelp did it have?
Oh yeah, good question.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Crucial. You didn't look at it, did you?
No, I didn't.
It's probably $4 signs. If
But
it's $4
no.
signs.
I'll go check it out. Except I remember several people saying, and the prices are so reasonable. And considering it's in a dingy hotel,
Too bad it was Rupert Murdoch, Donald Trump. Those are people saying.
It's only $4,000 a drink.
If you are, got tricked into listening to this podcast, if this is your first podcast beyond, eventually we will get to video games and Uncharted. We have a Naughty Dog here, but we still have other housekeeping. Colin, we went to New York Comic Con.
We did.
We did a podcast beyond.
We did.
We did a meet and greet.
We did.
Thank you so much to everybody who came out.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Huge support. Estimated 500 people turned away from the panel is what I was told.
Yep.
Because you guys all came out to support us and do a gaming podcast at a non-gaming show. That meant the world to us. Again, sorry to the girl who got hit in the head with the DVD Chris Carl threw.
It was a Blu-ray.
It was so awesome.
So the case wasn't quite as thick as it could have been if it was a DVD.
Kurt, I'll set it up for you. Chris Carl hosts this show on IGN called Free Shit, where you basically just watch and then send in your name and maybe you win something. And so he did the segment, and he's up in the front before our podcast doing this. And he was giving away a Blu-ray, and Ty Root came over and said, "Okay, one of our video guys, he's like, throw it into the crowd," because he's been handing them out. So Chris hauls off and throws it like a frisbee, and these two guys jump up to get it, and it goes around them in a perfect U, and curves into the audience and just hits this because the girl couldn't see because they were jumping in front of her. Hits this girl square in the forehead, and she has this giant red Blu-ray line on her head.
No!
Yeah. We gave her one of the Ratchet and Clank controllers. She was fun. She was okay about it after a while. At first, she was pretty.
The noise was pretty funny though. It was just an awesome clunking noise.
Yeah.
It's terrible. I feel so bad.
No, but it was great. A lot of people came out.
The panel was great. It was good to be home. Good to. My family surprised me at the meet and greet. My aunts and my uncles were there. My cousins. My mom,
way.
My dad.
Holy crap, man!
They were just
That's
there
awesome.
when we got there early. They were just there, and I was like, "Oh, this is pretty cool." Because I haven't seen my family probably since Christmas.
That's awesome.
So
how had you told them ahead of time, or did they somehow see it on the site? That
They knew I was going there, and my aunt was supposed to come meet me, and she was basically being coy about, I guess, bringing everyone else. So.
All right, that's
awesome.
awesome.
It was really cool. It was also nice to wear my New York sports team's regalia in my home territory. So
that must be a good feeling.
Not get weird looks.
That's like
you still got weird looks.
Yeah, I got one.
You were wearing Islander stuff in the Rangers territory.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like when I go to Japan and I wear all my weird Japanese shit in Japan.
Your pedo bear suit.
But then I still really stand out because I'm white. So it's like the same thing.
Did you get your hair done yesterday?
Yeah, except all right. Oh, here's a fun story, guys. Yeah. No? Should I not?
No, I'm sorry. I feel bad that we're going on tangents.
Yeah,
already, I
that's
guess.
actually, you want, maybe I'll save this story for later.
No,
It's a conversational podcast. It's
All
already been
right,
conversated
all right.
up. But
Here we go. No, it's funny because I was in the office late just getting some work done. I'm kind of actually on like a professional high right now. On rare occasion when I'm going to stay that late, I actually feel really good about it. And then I went out with our own, we say Mike's name on the podcast all the time, right?
Mike Mitchell?
Yeah.
You mean Mike Mitchell?
Yes,
Yeah,
Mike Mitchell.
yeah.
Anyway, Mike Mitchell, Podcast Beyond listener and good friend of the Beyond family extraordinaire.
IGN freelancer.
Yeah, went out with me just in the neighborhood to grab like a few drinks before I went back home and went to bed. Now, I entered the stage of immensely sleepy that I actually fell asleep in the shower again, which has happened to me a few times. Like I'll actually start nodding off while I'm just standing in the shower, and then I forget like what I had already done in the shower. Like I was like, did I wash my hair? Is there like I've actually started to stumble out of the shower and realize that I was still covered in soap. Like I had not actually rinsed off. So I had one of those experiences again last night. And then I just woke up this morning. I actually woke up at 5 a.m, realizing I never actually set an alarm after I went to bed. Not a good plan.
At least you
one.
remembered.
Yeah. So.
It sounds pretty dangerous. Do you fall over?
No, I didn't. I don't fall at all. Like, I'm not talking about. I literally.
I would love it if he just crumpled.
Is it like Inception?
Sleeps through it.
It's not like I'm.
You're waiting for the kick. Clemens is falling in slow motion in the shower.
I'm not leaning against the wall, actually sleeping. I just mean I'm so tired, like I'm starting to nod to sleep.
I also forget to wash my hair in the shower. I thought I was the only one.
No, I'm
I've had those moments.
I wash it, and then I'm like, did I wash it?
Yeah. I've had those moments.
Like, I have no way of knowing. I have no way. Does my hair feel dirty enough? It's hard to tell when it's wet.
Yeah.
I need like a system. I wish I could like invent a thing that like
a checklist.
You don't go in order.
It's a bathroom check.
Once I shampoo my hair, I wish there was a way of like flagging the shampoo bottle in some way to be like, yes, you've done
Game
this.
scripter over here.
So that I could.
Well, what about if you have all your various bottles of whatever, right?
I use a 2-in-1.
Okay. So this really doesn't seem that hard. It's like
Well, if the
So
worst case
here's what you
scenario, I
do.
just wash my hair twice. But
you just have it facing, the label is facing you, and then when
and
you
I
get
forget
in,
it.
and then you turn
I'm
it
in the
around.
moment. That's a good. I might try that.
But then the question, do you remember? What if you
But it's
forget
not
to turn them back
guaranteed.
around?
It's
Then
not
and then,
foolproof.
Then you're like,
It's
well,
not
exactly.
foolproof. It's not foolproof.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, well, we're 20 minutes into the number one PlayStation podcast on the internet, believe it or not. Let's start the show with what is and it forever will be the Roper Report. Time for some news. Colin, what do you got for me?
I got a lot of things.
Oh my gosh.
10 things.
I know what the
You wanna
biggest
talk about
story
showering?
Yeah, let's talk about showers and bathroom stalls or whatever the fuck we've been talking about. Hey kid, you want a sandwich?
is. Urinal sandwich.
Urinal sandwich.
So number one.
The biggest story?
No.
Okay.
These are just in any order. These are in the order I found them.
Okay.
Catherine has sold 500,000 copies worldwide. Over 500,000 copies worldwide. It was very great. It's a good game. Gave it a 9.0.
Naughty Dog, is that hard to do?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
I play Catherine. It was
Catherine.
legit.
No, I like the game. I
If I bought it, I only buy like the best games. So if
do
I'm
you?
buying
Okay.
Catherine, that's like
The
okay,
finest
it's legit.
games.
500,000.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm excited. I kind of am interested to see if they try to do a sequel for that, but I don't know.
I'd love to see
Catherine
more from
2.
Atlas.
Or it could be spelled Catherine with a K this time.
Yeah,
Oh,
or just someone else,
shit.
some other chick's name.
Atlas, you guys can have
Spoilers.
that. You guys can just take that one. Just be like,
I'm sure it's
take
already
it.
in development if they're doing it.
Yeah.
Number 2, PlayStation Vita is coming out in North America,
Booyah!
Europe, and other territories outside of Japan on February 22nd,
You know what that calls for?
2012. What?
My God.
My God.
I can't not picture that guy's face when I say that.
So that's pretty exciting. We finally have a date.
Are you upset by the date? Are you happy with the date?
No, I'm
it's
totally-
2 months after the Japanese
Yeah,
release
it
date.
is
We
what it
just ordered our imports for the Japanese ones. It's like, damn it.
Yeah, we
so
have
close.
3 or 4 coming in December. Yeah, I'm excited about it. I still I think that they intended on getting this out in 2011, and then the tsunami and earthquake happened, and they're
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
having supply side problems. So that works for me. I mean, we'll have the Japanese ones anyway, so
Yeah.
whatever, and they're backwards compatible. Yeah, number 3.
You mean cross compatible? What do you mean backwards compatible? You mean they talk to each other like?
Yeah, I guess that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, just making sure. We don't want to confuse people. I know what you're saying.
We're territory free. That's
Exactly.
right.
Region free. We should be able to transfer our PSN profiles around.
Yeah, very good. Although the X and the circle will obviously be.
That's going to be the
inverted.
biggest problem.
Yeah.
I wonder if you can switch that in the system menu. You might be able to.
I doubt you can.
You could on
I
Facebook.
doubt it. I doubt you can. Seeing as how Shuhei, that was his big point on Twitter that one day about why he said not to. And also, if you notice, you can do it only on debugs. PS3 debugs allow you to switch button behavior, but like the retails don't.
Number 3, PSN firmware 3.73 is now live. It's a non-mandatory update that improves stability.
Have you noticed? Are you more stable?
Everything's so stable when I play now. Someone asked a good question on Twitter about that though, which was why would a non-mandatory update improve the stability of the PlayStation 3 when you're playing retail games? Why wouldn't they just make that mandatory?
Yeah. Why would they do anything anymore? I don't know.
Anything at all?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just close
Again,
the company.
Shuhei was talking about how Vita firmwares will be less intrusive than the PS3. I would imagine this is such a small fix or whatever they're doing that they'd rather not burden you with, hey, download another firmware.
Yeah, I agree. Nate Ahern, who used to work here,
And bitches all the time on Twitter about firmware updates.
Yeah, well, he did. I lent him Resistance like a while ago. He played it, and then he hasn't turned it on since. And now he's playing Payday.
Oh yeah.
And he turned on his PlayStation like
here
a
we
day
go.
ago, and he was like, "I had to download a fucking firmware update." I'm like, "You haven't turned on your PlayStation in like a month, dude, because there has been no firmware update. So turn your PlayStations on more often, please."
Yeah.
Jesus
Be a
Christ.
PlayStation Plus member and then just let it do it itself.
Yeah, exactly. Number 4, Sony. Oh, this one's for our friends here. Sony has revealed the Fortune Hunters Club for Uncharted 3, which will allow you to pay early for all 7 planned multiplayer packs for Uncharted, saving $45.
Look at that.
Holy shit.
Kurt, you're passing the savings on to me.
We do that. We do that.
Did they talk about when those are dated for or anything?
Well, we do have day 1 DLC,
Okay.
and we haven't said anything else other than that.
So we don't know what it is.
We're gonna do more work.
We have we're already working on it. We got 4 map packs coming. We have 3 skin packs, a unique PS3 theme. Yeah, it's
But we don't know what the day 1 DLC is.
No.
Okay,
no,
okay.
not.
Here's what I'll tell you right now what you need to do. You need to make sure you get the pack out with trophies ASAP. That's the one that because I love the fact that I love the fact that you don't include multiplayer trophies other than play a match and do this once for the platinum. But then it's one of those things where once I platinum the game, it's like
Did you platinum yet?
No, I have not platinumed yet. I'll have you know. I'm on my way. Even though Colin Moriarty almost got the taste slapped out of his mouth 2 days ago, ladies and gentlemen. Colin Moriarty had the gall to say to my face that I wouldn't platinum Uncharted 3.
I just I didn't realize that I've been playing through it on hard.
Yeah.
Because I assumed that you had to do that to unlock.
Because like in 1 and 2, you had to play hard
Yeah.
to unlock crushing.
But that isn't the case in this one.
Yeah. So like I played it on normal for review because last time around I didn't review it. Roper did, and I was like, well, I'm gonna kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I'll play on hard, and I'll come in. And I was so infuriated because like I love Uncharted and I love just experiencing those games and playing for the story and yada yada. And like once you crank it up and stuff, it starts getting really cheap. You know what I mean? And like I didn't want to totally skew my interpretation of what most people are getting when they play it on normal. So I was like, I will suck it up and play 3 times. And Colin was like, you'll never do that. Blah, blah, blah. Got all my face about it. And this is from the guy who has had Uncharted 3 for a while. I won't say how long. And he's still only like in chapter 5. It's not.
I'm not in chapter 5. I'm in chapter like 12. But I have
No,
Yes,
not from what you said.
Yeah, I am.
All right, we're gonna write down where he is. Unless you haven't moved since where you were last time, right?
No, I'm.
All right. And then you can tell
Also,
us more of a good chapter where
And
he is.
in the meantime, I still want to hear David more. I think you should move the mic closer to your fucking face again.
Should I inch
All
it
right, this
just
is
like
where-
that?
No, you can make it pretty drastic.
Dave is the Beyond
Right
guy.
there?
There,
He was,
yes,
he was
yeah.
the one who was here.
Yeah.
I never.
You don't even care about it. You don't know what the show
I've
is.
heard the show. I don't. This is my first show. I don't even. No, I listened to the show like once or twice.
It's kind of weird. I'm
I
like
watched him and made fun
But
of him.
you follow me on Twitter, so that's good enough.
I do.
It's like you get the Beyond in 140 characters.
I think
every
you
day.
may follow me on Twitter.
I do
too.
follow you on Twitter, yeah.
I, got
All right,
guys
I need to
following
follow
me.
you on
That's
All
great.
right, Kurt.
What's up?
David,
Yes.
this is where Colin is in the game. I'm going to show you with the
right.
one word that'll tell you where he is. Give me a ballpark on the chapters he is and tell me
Okay.
who's more correct. I said 5 or 6, and he's
Okay.
saying 12.
12. Okay.
great.
That's like
Great.
a third of the way, maybe.
That's early. That is early. That is
This is
not.
why
chapter-
I'm in chapter 5.
That's a big level though. So it depends
wait,
where
like-
you are in there.
Oh, now he's
He doesn't
amending.
know what it is. They don't know. They can't read. It's not video.
Is there a camera in here?
All right. Well, okay.
That's towards the end of it.
Yeah.
So
I think I'm right.
towards
All
the
right.
end
You're
of
making
it.
progress. So here's what I know.
You say you guys are both
Yesterday,
right.
I started playing my crushing playthrough a couple days ago. Yesterday, I was capturing a whole bunch, and I was jumping around, and I started playing and just for capture. And I got to that part. So I mean, you can't be that far in if I'm getting there that quick.
I don't know. I'm walking around. See, so the thing, that I want to find all the treasures for the platinum. So I'm like walking in every crevice. I'm just like on the streets and stuff. I'm just like walking like in every corner, like
some tough
waiting
ones,
for like
yeah.
the triangle to show up or whatever.
Well, now they have the treasures. We actually have them rendered in game. You actually see what it is
Yeah,
on the
it's
no
ground.
longer
They're
just
just
a
a
dot.
speckle.
Indeed, but I
Me and Colin were talking about that. That makes it so much harder. Before it was just looking for a glowing orb somewhere.
Well,
like
it still
you
glows
It
and
still glows.
sheens. It
I
has
know,
the
I
same
know.
thing, but we want to make it.
Does
so
it
you can
have
actually see
like?
it.
Does it have the star-shaped sheen, or is it just like actually like doing like
like
the
the
It does
pulse?
multiplayer
the
weapon
same. It,
pickups.
it
pulse
has the
thing?
sheen on
Pulses,
it,
yeah.
like the guns do, but it
Alright.
also has the starry, like the Tinkerbell.
The
from far
Tinkerbell
away
effect.
thing.
Okay, good.
Cool.
Tinkerbell effect.
That's a Naughty Dog term, by the way.
Tinkerbell effect.
Tinkerbell. We
That's
need
a-
more Tinkerbell.
You
in
invented
this.
the term Tinkerbell.
I bet Evan Wells is saying it.
If you applaud the game, the treasures are easier to find.
Okay,
Cool.
got it.
Yeah, I'm looking, vigilantly for these treasures. They're hard
You
to
may
find.
have to get the strategy guide for that. I'm not gonna lie. I think I need to use the strategy guide to find the
There's
treasures.
some really tough ones.
Uncharted
There was
2,
tough
I'm
ones in
like,
Uncharted. There
where-
was some tough ones in Drake's in Among Thieves too that were like
Yeah, we put
impossible. to
them all kinds of crazy. I don't even know.
find. Let's see, where are we? Number 5. Sony has raised the PlayStation Network level cap.
Booyah.
It used to be at 50. Now the highest person in the world is at level 56. The current cap is still unknown. The person at level 56 has 340 platinum trophies.
If only I had the time.
I don't know how. Like, so what country is that person from?
I don't know. So here's the thing. I've been talking to both of these guys because there's two dudes that are two accounts, Duck360 and Hakum, and they
Okay.
constantly battle for like this,
This
arbitrary
position.
coveted position on the internet.
Yeah.
So the Duck360 guy admits that they're 3 people.
Using that
Yeah,
account.
that use that account.
Okay.
And he's like totally, they don't care. Like they just admit it that, because like even timestamps are like exactly the same on different games and stuff like, and they're like, no, we have no problem admitting that there's 3 people. I think the Hakum guy maintains that he's alone, but I think he also maintains that he uses hacks and cheats. Because you could turn a game like Fuel on and just download a save and it just pops all the trophies, And we did the same thing in Buzz when we did that video.
Yeah.
So,
And I've done the fuel one too.
yeah.
You have to drive
Yeah.
across the map though to get the platinum. I never did that.
I don't
got bored.
understand that. I don't understand why you would just artificially boost this thing that you're supposed to be
I still have
using
6
for...
more platinums
Because
than
I like
Greg
my
and I don't
level.
cheat.
I love this. God, it's so great whenever there's just a fucking loser who's like, well, we didn't win the World Series, but clearly, they had more errors than us or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, shut the fuck up. You're losing. All right, that's the answer.
Okay, we'll see.
Yeah, we will.
So wait,
Colin is closing in
people,
again.
The people that cheat are the ones that...
That was a
and
bad
you're
example,
like-
but I don't know baseball. I don't know why I started going with baseball. All right, you
Those are
lose
the
the
ru-
NBA
the-
Finals, but you had more points total in the season. How about
There's
that?
rules of the game,
I don't know.
and they're not
you lost
breaking the
me.
rules.
Exactly.
They're just using the system to their advantage, man.
Yeah, well. To me, that's
It's
using...
not honorable.
Yeah,
but
it's not
like
not
it's
using...
like it's like when it's unethical but not illegal.
I don't mind the people sharing an account. I mean, they're all still playing games. They're still
Yeah.
doing things the normal way, and that's still a natural reflection of their gaming experience. Whereas someone that's just like downloading random saves and cheating and blinging trophies all over the
It's
fucking
kind of like
place.
taking steroids.
That's not really. Yeah, that's not showing like.
Asterisks next to certain trophy levels.
I was. So I'm actually, I don't know, I've told Greg and Colin this recently. Since joining the PlayStation team, and I've also been reviewing a lot of PlayStation games recently, I'm enjoying getting trophies again. And I like looking at my trophy list and seeing like it's a very normal evaluation of like what I've done in games.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't like mine for trophies. I just sort of like get them as they come, and I'll go out of my way a little bit, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's good times.
All right.
All right.
Let's blaze through the rest of these so we can get to the questions.
Okay.
Let's see. Number 6, Capcom has announced Devil May Cry HD collection due out in 2012. $40.
You excited?
DMC games from PS2. Yeah.
Third one's the best one.
I would rather have Onimusha because it's a far superior series.
Oh my god.
Namco Bandai will be publishing the level 5 RPG Ni no Kuni.
Ninu Nani. Ninu Nana.
No.
Wrath of the White Witch. That's cool. That game looks really, really good. For some strange reason, the Xbox 360 continues to outsell the PlayStation 3 in North America. Can't
Gears of
understand
War.
that. Yeah, I guess. Or just that they break. Number 9, Resistance 3 has officially sold poorly, moving only 180,000 units in the United States during its first month. Resistance 2 did 385,000 units in the same time period.
Colin, what does this mean?
It means I'm really sad. It sucks because Resistance 3 is fucking awesome, And It's just strange. It's just strange that a game that came out in 2008 when people weren't really playing PS3, the attach rate wasn't high. That game did so much better than a game that is really superior to it.
Yeah, but do you think it is that people like? I mean, you know, a lot, not necessarily for everybody, obviously, but there is a bad taste in people's mouths for Resistance 2. Some of them were let down, didn't like it, yada yada yada.
Yeah.
Do you think it kind of drove them away from the franchise?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I think that's possible, and also, I mean, I wonder, is this a marketing issue? I mean, did it not get pushed hard enough?
There was a Kevin Butler commercial with him on a horse, and he had a move, and I think on a TV somewhere, and the Resistance 3 was playing. They did everything they could do for that game.
Yeah, all right, that was proper push there.
And finally, number 10, Final Fantasy XIV is still coming to the PlayStation 3. A closed beta is planned to begin in November of 2012.
Right around the corner.
Yep.
That's
That's it.
it's like a 2.0 or something. Right?
Yeah, it's like basically a completely revamped game. I don't know why they just don't scrap it and move on. But
I couldn't I couldn't care less about that game. I don't think. I don't think it would be humanly possible. Yeah.
We'll see you'll sing a different tune when that beta comes to Subway.
you'll be singing a different tune when you're reviewing it.
Ryan.
Yeah.
I like putting the digital goodies on my system. What came there?
You love doing that.
Well, I jumped around, didn't I?
It's actually
we're going out of order.
Well, I screwed it. Yeah,
Go ahead,
I didn't
go-
look at my thing.
Yeah, why not? Let's do it. You got Okaboo. All right, I just love saying that name. I don't think there's ever been a
We gave it a
title that
5.5.
Ooh,
All right.
did we really?
Yep.
Yeah.
I never had a chance to read that review.
Must download Okaboo for $14.99. All right, we got Rocket Bird's Hard Boiled Chicken,
I gave it a 7.5.
7.5.
Good.
Then we have a bunch. We have Beat Ultra Hazard.
That will be out soon. You're going to review
Yeah,
that.
that's a
right?
Greg Miller jam, but I haven't gotten to it yet.
Okay. We have the original Dead Space.
Great
Okay.
game.
That was a great
Better
game.
than the sequel.
Wow.
Ridge Racer 7 3D license version. Okay.
All right.
Sam and Max stuff. Dungeon Defenders.
Wait. With Sam Max, it's the entire second season that's out on PlayStation.
Full season, episodes 1 to 5.
You might remember it
$20.
from 2 years ago on Xbox Live.
Real Steel.
Yes, finally.
You guys want to get into Real Steel? A boxing-style fighting game featuring robots as combatants.
They're
Based
using
on
the X-Men Origins Wolverine engine.
There you go.
So like Hugh Jackman can control the robot and his skin will get torn off.
really?
Nah, that's not true.
I still don't know what the hell that game actually is. Gonna
Yeah, Real Steel. Look it up.
be. What if it's
All
like a
right.
really great game, like a 9.5?
I mean, it could be. I mean, I guess we can't discount the possibility. We also have Payday the Heist finally came out.
Hell yeah.
7.5 from Greg
bro.
Miller.
Then we have a bunch of demos, including a lot of the things I just discussed, as well as some Batman Arkham City content.
Booyah.
The Catwoman bundle, first
Yeah.
purchase DLC.
If you bought it new, you don't need to buy that.
Some Deus Ex stuff, and I'm just kind of looking for
There's
the
some
highlights
minis.
here.
Oh, Street Fighter Alpha 3 comes out. PS1 Classic. Hell of a game.
Ooh, yeah.
give it up, guy. That has like the best English translation voice acting in any fighting game, I think.
There you go.
a great
There's also, we do have some minis. We have 1,000 Tiny Claws, The Treasures of Montezuma, Street Smart, and Speedball 2 Evolution for $6.99.
Way to go,
Fucking
Jeff.
Jeff
Gee,
Rubenstein, what are you doing making these minis like that?
God.
You and your wife just cranking these things
That's
out.
work, actually.
Speedball minis.
About that game, Street Smart, I reached out to Jeff about that game because that's an old Genesis game, the name of an old Genesis game, but apparently they're not the same. So,
Speedball 2 Evolution?
No.
That was...
Street Smart.
Oh, Street Smart. Street
Street Smart was like a brawler, like kind of like Streets of Rage.
$3. Okay.
That's more like it.
Download at your local PSN store.
Colin,
Yeah.
if I didn't want to download stuff, where could I go to find out what's in real stores with bricks and mortars?
The official IGN list of upcoming PlayStation software on all their platforms by the IGN editors.
Take it, David. All right. Come on, I thought you knew the show. It's okay.
You guys fake
I
it.
gotta say, like I'm in like the motor now. Like I'm back at Naughty or something, or Naughty Dog or something, listening to you guys. I'm all sitting here like, oh, this is cool. And like, I'm forgetting I'm here.
You can be
Oh my
It's
god.
better. Did you
needs to
listen
be
to the
modeling.
Comic-Con show yet?
No.
At Comic-Con, I was like, "Who can say the list name?" And this kid ran up to the mic and then just totally bricked it. Like, the PlayStation. And he was booed until my voice was so hoarse.
That's messed up.
I was booing him.
Nothing on PS2. I can't wait till we could swap out PS2 for Vita and still keep the name the same.
I can't wait to just change it to 2.
No, okay.
PS3 and Vita, and just push you off into your little funeral pyre, PSP.
On PSP, Naruto Ultimate Ninja Impact. On PlayStation 3, 6
week.
games. Ben 10 Galactic Racing.
Yeah, buddy.
Kind of feel like that could be a platinum. The Sims 3 Pets, Rocksmith, Arkham City, Everybody Dance, and Ratchet and Clank all for one.
Dance now.
All right, so pick of the week.
Arkham, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, why would it not?
Yeah,
I mean,
buddy.
look, let's be honest though. Okaboo.
Anthony, totally an Okaboo anti-money hat.
I love watching Anthony. The de-evolution of Anthony's Okaboo review has been just
That was the thing,
a
because
highlight of my last week
He started playing
and a
it
half.
right before we went to Comic-Con. So I asked him
Yeah.
what he thought of it, and he was like, "Oh, it's not bad.
It's a
It's
cute
all right."
game. This is really cute. It's really the music, the art. And he's like, "Fuck Okaboo."
What
By
happened?
the end of it.
What happened?
I
You
think
know?
it's just
I read
one
his
of the
review.
most repetitive games.
Okay.
Apparently, I don't know. I mean, I didn't read the review
Yeah,
yet.
I
What's his
proved- I proved it
complaints?
for him. Yeah, it just gets super repetitive or whatever. So here's the mysterious thing, though. I'm going to say to you right now.
I'm ready.
For all the trophy hunters out there too. 4 downloadable games came out this week with platinum trophies, and there might be more. I don't know if this is going to be a new trend, because games like Dead Nation and Shrine were pretty rare, But Hardboiled Chicken has a platinum, Okaboo has a platinum, Payday has a platinum, and Dungeon Defenders has a platinum, and there might be more than that. So I don't know if this is like going to be a new thing or whatever, where they're just going to start giving these games platinums or not. But I thought that was pretty interesting.
I like that. I think it breaks down that wall. I think it's kind of silly that and it shouldn't be like there shouldn't be a line in the sand, I guess. You know what I mean? If you're putting out an experience that you think competes with the retail game or whatever, then sure,
Cool.
give it a platinum.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
All right.
But yeah,
Uncharted-
Batman Arkham City is awesome, so you should totally play that 9.5 from Greg Miller.
Nice.
Pretty
I was gonna make a bad Uncharted joke, but let's skip it.
The Sun Temple, Sully. We need to get there when the blood moon rises.
Uncharted 4, Blood Moon Rises, announced.
Blood moon rising. So there you go. Yeah, a topic of the week will be plenty of Uncharted here. We have Naughty Dog here. You might as well use them. Last night on Twitter, I put out a whole bunch of questions. I was very impressed, Beyond Nation. Last night on Twitter, at like 9:30, I was like, oh yeah, Naughty Dog's coming in tomorrow. Maybe we should have some Uncharted questions. So I put it out there expecting not much. You guys flooded the inbox.
Hey, Greg.
Yeah.
Where can people follow you on Twitter?
They can follow me at GameOverGreggy,
Nice.
GREGGY, and they can send questions anytime to be part of the conversational podcast. Beyond at IGN.com.
Beyond at IGN.com.
Yeah, so
Interesting.
The at symbol, not AT.
No,
Yeah.
don't write that yet.
Don't write AT.
Topic of the week is Reader Mail. Reader Mail, pretty much all about Naughty Dog and Uncharted 3. So let's start with TJ's question. Hey, Beyond Crew. Just read Ryan's Ratchet and Clank All for One review. He certainly piqued my interest. My wife and I are very different gamers. Think Bejeweled versus Infamous. But we always come together with joy for some good old-fashioned co-op smashing. How does Lego compare, the Lego games, compare to Ratchet and Clank All for One? Is the
Okay.
platforming difficult? How's the camera, etc.?
Okay, got it. I would say that my experience with the Lego games is actually not super extensive, but I will say that I kind of feel like Ratchet and Clank is a more difficult experience all around than the Lego games. Now, I'm not saying that makes it completely inaccessible to the kind of light casual gamers, perhaps like his wife here. Did he say wife? Or
TJ,
girlfriend?
yeah, and wife.
But I'd say maybe be in for a challenge. You might want to just brace for impact.
Jeez.
All right, that made it sound too hard. It's not. It's very doable. I was comfortable the entire way through on normal difficulty.
8.0 is what you gave it?
8.0.
8.0.
Yeah, great game.
That's interesting, right? Because earlier I was not sold on it. I
Yeah.
codenamed it Turd Ferguson, but now it pulled out.
Turd Ferguson.
I didn't code name it
wow,
Turd Ferguson.
that's harsh.
It's just Colin's always wearing a
No,
Ferguson jersey.
I really enjoyed it, and I think Ratchet fans, if you're a Ratchet fan, all right, here's bottom line: you're a Ratchet fan, and you have a friend that you want to just have over for a few nights in a row, and you guys will just sit down on the couch, like eat some junk food, and play through that game. That's like the best experience.
It's 4-player though, right?
It is 4-player,
Does it have?
but
Can you do local 4-player?
you can do local and online up to 4 people. I will say that when I call it in my video review, it's a Neha term. She works here. She coins the term banana cakes when something is really crazy. So 4-player gets pretty banana cakes because, man, it's almost impossible. I mean, Colin was helping me test that, and I mean, at some points it was kind of just you were unable to tell what was happening on the screen.
That is correct.
Yeah, so I would say 2
It's like a congressional
That's part of the
hearing.
experience.
So you're sitting back in your chair and you lean into yes, that is what I said.
So yeah, keep that in mind.
When you play with 2 players, do they have AI for the other 2, or are they?
No, it's actually
Just 2?
it's just you guys.
Does
and
it scale? Is it harder that way?
It seems like certain aspects of the game scale, though I didn't really notice a notable increase in the number of dudes on the screen or anything. Maybe they just have a little more hit points.
Too many dudes on the screen.
Too many dudes on the
I
screen.
need my friend's help.
bruh.
All right, David and Kurt. It's time to start getting some Uncharted questions for you.
All right.
This first one comes from Beyond fan, super fan, I'd say, Yaron Donin
Yes.
from Israel.
Yair.
Yair. See,
Yair.
yeah, this is the funny thing, because last time I talked about him, I said his name, and I'm like, I'm terrified I'm going to say it wrong, and I said it right, and he's like, oh, you nailed it, and then I was like, how did I say it? I immediately forgot how to say it.
It's just think ya, like you're saying ya, and then air, like you're talking about the air.
Yair. All right, perfect.
Actually, I ran into him. I met him at Beyond 200, and then a week later I was at I Am 8-Bit art gallery down in LA, and he was there as well. He's making a little.
God,
down.
he's everywhere.
I know,
He's
I was like,
everywhere
oh,
we go.
Yeah, back to your country. They need you. It loses all. It doesn't. It's not fun anymore if you're just here. Yair from California. All right. Anyways, this question is design-wise. Do you have an idea for a level and then figure out a way to integrate it into the story, or does the story dictate the level layouts? For example, did you want to have a level on a moving cruise ship and then make sure the story got you there, or did the story bring you to the boat?
It kind of goes back and forth. In the example of the cruise ship, it was kind of one of the first things that we had come up with.
This is Kurt
and
talking.
Yes.
The
Should I
designer.
announce my name before every time I go?
No.
Kurt here.
Just
This
because
is
you guys
Kurt
haven't
Margano.
spoken
And now I'm
in a
answer
while.
this question. So I mean, for the case like some of the big set pieces, we pretty much come up with them first because we're just like, what's crazy? What can we try to do? And then it kind of gives to Amy, and like once we develop it enough, and she's like, okay, and she'll like actually write it into the story, but it goes back and forth. So sometimes we have the story, Amy and the concept people and all the game directors and stuff will and the whole team will suggest locations, and we'll come up with locations, and then concept guys will be concepting that stuff out, and artists will be doing look
deving, yeah.
And
we have a very fluid process, and it allows us to be flexible. So, like the cruise ship, we didn't have a story at first. We did this awesome set piece. Jacob Minkoff designed it, and then, later on we were like, okay, well, how can we, we have to stay flexible. Can we cut it? Should we, cut it down, make it longer? Can we move it around? And it's a good process for us.
We get pretty ambitious with some of the set pieces, and hopefully we realize in time that we're like, okay, it's a little too crazy. We need to scale it back.
Every
scale it back.
time, yeah.
And then you never
it a
see
learn.
the crazy stuff that we're planning because we shipped the game and on time, and then you see the craziness, and you're like, well, it was actually maybe a little crazier than that, but
Hopefully
we'll
some
never
behind
know.
the scenes stuff
You'll
on
never
that.
know.
Yeah. I see.
Craziness.
That's one thing I will tip my hat to you from playing through it, is that I was happy you played your cards so close. You know what I mean? It's one of those things. We went to a lot of events, E3s and GDCs and whatnots, backroom alleys. I got in the back of Amy's van at one point. I didn't have that.
We've all been there.
Flo was driving.
But it was always like, more multiplayer. You know what I mean? Like, I want to see more of the story. But then when I sat down and played it through, it was like, holy crap! I'm glad I didn't see anything, because it was so like, wow. I wanted that experience.
We put a lot of cards on the table, advertising, the story, and then, the recent launch trailer this week, we showed even more stories.
Yeah.
So, and we still didn't give away, a lot of it. So
Yeah.
you have to play
There's good
to really get
surprises
it.
in there.
Yeah.
How big is Naughty Dog right now?
Well, at the end of Uncharted 2, end of Uncharted 3, we were actually up to about 250 people. A lot of it was contract whatnot. We have about 150, 170 full-timers.
Because when you talk about making the game, it makes it sound like you guys also go in a conference room and get a pizza and like talk about what you want to do. I mean, is it you break into teams and then like team heads go to the break room for pizza and talk?
Is there pizza?
There is
kind of
pizza.
pizza.
Yeah. Sometimes
we get barbecue, and
we get catered dinners
We
when
get some
we're
dinners.
working late.
Nice.
but what was the question again?
How big are teams? How does it work? How does it break down?
Oh yeah. So
Well,
like the
we have
leads
a-
of each department.
We have a
kind
very
of-
flat hierarchy straight up first.
Yeah.
We have the presidents, the leads, and then everybody. Like,
Oh, wow.
there's no like department, like teams, so to speak. There are teams within it, but like it's just such a fluid
Yeah.
beast.
There's
that-
like the animation. There's like
A fluid beast.
there's a design.
It's a
There's
water
design. There's background. Modeling, texturing. There's like in animation. There's like subsets. There's the cutscene guys. There's like IGCs, we call it in-game cinematics, which is all the crazy stuff that happens in game to you. And then there's like mechanics guys who do like AI animations for just the movesets of of Drake and the mechanics of taking cover and stuff and all that stuff. And they work with the programmers. And each department kind of has like a lead of them, and they kind of manage the work, and the leads will dictate that stuff.
Yeah.
But for a level, it's like a level designer is kind of the head, and he's kind of the producer of the level to make sure that he's talking to all the leads of all departments, making sure everything is given to us.
Look at you, big boss.
Naughty Dog.
over there.
Naughty Dog doesn't have an interdisciplinary sense producers, so yeah, we have to.
Is your office kind of like World of Warcraft, where each of
what does
the
that mean?
different each of the different departments feels like a different zone? Like you walk into the programmers and it's all dark and like all their glasses are glowing, and and then you
They
walk
have 8
into
screens.
the artists and they're all like hanging from the ceiling on like like these
Wow.
contraptions.
That's
what I'm envisioning right now.
So
I think
visually
it's pretty
in the
accurate.
office, Greg's been in the office. You can speak to that,
Well,
right?
the old office.
I went to
Oh,
the
he's
old
been
office.
the old office, he hasn't been the new one.
Shades are drawn.
The new
you don't
one
want the
is pretty
backlighting.
baller.
People are always doing stuff. A lot of PS3s are on. A lot of just idle animations of like characters
We do
standing
yeah.
there while someone's like furiously typing at their computer, making something else work.
But yeah, I mean, visually, we kind of intermingle the departments a lot. So like, we have the animation guys and they're all kind of next to each other, but we have to travel a lot.
Yeah.
Especially designers, like
We-
we have to be on scooters. Like
Yeah, we're riding scooters
it's a big
all the time
office.
around the office.
And we got to go talk to animators. We got to talk to programmers. Talk to everybody.
Man.
So we're always like
My
on the
God.
move.
Oh my God.
We're always on
Beast
the
is
move.
my
and-
best
Would you
thing
say
technology.
that you guys are the heroes of development and you're on the move often?
Wow.
That's
No, I would
No.
never say that.
Those words would not come out of my mouth, as a matter of fact. Jason Levy asked a question I think everybody wants. Beyond.
Yeah.
Beyond.
Hi, team. I know in the Uncharted 3 launch commercial, I see Nathan Drake riding a horse in gameplay footage.
Oh.
Do you know if this part of the game is on rails or if the player will have full control over the horse?
Spoilers. I don't know, man.
Play
I
the
don't
game to
know.
find out.
You should find out.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
You
maybe.
think you might be?
It's an on-rails horse.
I just like imagine if there was like a panel and then, excuse me, question. Just saw a horse riding.
I think we always try in Uncharted to like give the player as much control as possible without breaking it, so that you can't like just do really stupid things and
Take the horse off the cliff.
That you want to, like the player is able to do what they want to do without like it being a horrible experience. So there's limitations on a lot of stuff in the game, but we also give you a lot of control, more than you would think from looking at the trailers, maybe.
Well,
Well,
the-
when,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I love it when people are like don't realize they're playing right at the end. I see because it's
Oh,
like
that
Yeah,
happens
yeah,
to me
yeah.
all the time.
Why does he just stand-
I almost
crap.
get angry at you guys because I'm like, oh, I'm enjoying this, I'm great, and then Drake's just like, I'm like, oh, I got
It seems
control.
it always gets me like in Uncharted 2 and the Uncharted franchise in general when you'll do that and it'll be something where like you need to run away from something. Like,
Oh, yeah.
the event ends and like, oh, come on, Drake, and I'm like, yeah, oh God, and then he's just crying, he's killed or something, eats him. I don't know.
That's we try our best to. We know. Yeah, that's hard for me to hear as a designer because I designed some sequences like that.
No, I like it. It's just one of those things that like the transition is
we
so
try our
thing.
best to like make sure like okay, player's not gonna press a stick right away. We try like in Uncharted 2 we call it the conveyor belt treadmill sequence in the beginning. Minor spoiler of
You should have played
opening-
Uncharted 2
The
by now,
opening
I
of
guess.
Uncharted 2 when the train's falling off the cliff and you get up there and it's like oh stumble and then it's kind of starts sliding off and we're like the player's not going to know immediately to like run forward to
Yeah.
try to jump off, and so like we have a lot of kind of crazy scripting in place that's telling it to be like okay, it like tracks your progress because at the very end when you jump it's always like perfectly aligned with like being right on the edge and matches the when
how
you grab
Nathan Drake does it.
grabs the
Cool.
thing, and so like
Love
it's
it.
it's if you just stand there for like 4 seconds and then run, it works out the same as if you just run from the beginning. So there's like this stuff that's kind of speeding up and slowing down the animation just for
I was
the
thinking
car.
about-
and
so
that's
that-
one little moment in that
Yeah.
massive game.
yeah.
It's
So we try to do that a
crazy.
lot, and we use that kind of tech. I guess it's tech. It's like little algorithm.
Technology, yeah.
It's like yeah.
The technologies.
Are you using the Tony Hawk board? Because I know it's full of technologies.
We might have a patch for that.
Believe it or not, Kurt, you're a professional. You just segued into Carlo's question. Was Uncharted 3 less of a challenge for you, given that you'd already done so much with Uncharted 1, 2? You had resources.
Wow.
well,
Yeah.
okay. Well, when we
no
started
and yes.
at
But
the end of
mostly
Uncharted 2, we were all like, okay, what's next? We won all these Game of the Year awards, and we're like, oh crap! Like now we have to actually do something better than that. What the hell do you? And the external pressure is really bad, but the internal pressure is like even more. So we set out and we're like, okay, we got to make an even bigger, better game. But then we actually like killed ourselves on Uncharted 2. So we're like, okay, well, actually, let's not make that big a game. Let's tone this down a bit. And then we of course, are Naughty Dog, so we shot for
But
the
a lot
universe.
of it is, so we do have,
universe.
so
Yeah,
like the
Beyond the
train
Moon.
level in Uncharted 2, we had to essentially rewrite the whole engine for like moving objects.
Yeah.
So once we had that, like we could start with that now in Uncharted 3 and say, we know we can do moving objects. What craziness can we do? And Uncharted 2, we didn't have that. We're just trying to get the
tech.
trying to get it to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't really working until the very end of Uncharted 2. So now we had that to start. So like in a way that was easier to gave us the freedom to kind of have a little bit of confidence that we're like, okay, we know that this tech works. We can do like cargo plane stuff. We can do cruise ship stuff.
However, we never rest on our laurels, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
we're always
but yeah, so it's
pushing
like
even
that,
further.
but it facilitated us. But in no way was this an easier game to make than Uncharted 2 because it just the bar just got raised.
That's all.
So it's like we were just like, okay, now that we have this as a baseline, we do this crazy technology with moving on. No, okay, well now what don't we have? What can we invent for this game?
Yeah.
For water, crazy dynamic water, ocean stuff, and like sand technology, and like we just like invent new stuff for us to challenge ourselves because.
Like definitely like the craziest thing we definitely did was the procedural ocean water in the cruise ship, because it's actually like the cruise ship is moving, right, and looks as actually as the water is moving, it's moving the boat, and it's this crazy technology that nobody can really see, but it's actually all happening and turned out to be even better.
And the thing about that sequence is like they're like, oh yeah, we could have faked it, but faking it is really hard too. we tried that first, and
We tried to fake it.
and it was like, well, there's clipping, like the water. Like, first of all, to animate water, with like, there's like a million vertices in water, vertices, and it's like the animation.
telling me, man.
The animation. I don't even know what that
Every
means.
morning when I fall asleep in the shower, that's what I'm thinking.
So like,
All these vertex hitting me in the face right now.
Man, I almost feel bad like when I was complaining about being up late last night. 'cause
Man, I
I'm
was
like,
up writing this. I was up writing about Ratchet and Clank. It was killing me.
writing this meet and greet article, and you guys are like, man, there's 4,000 million vertices in the ocean water, and I'm like, all right, I feel dumb now.
So yeah, to actually animate that is like way too much memory. You could never animate it and like have it in memory. Just take up the whole game would be just the animation for the water animating. So it's like the only way to do it is to do it dynamically and have it procedurally done. And then once you have that, you're like, okay, well the boat has to move realistically on it. So we can't animate that because we don't know in the simulation where it's going to be. So we're just like, okay, we'll just take like, the normal of the water and just like move the boat based on how the simulation of the water is going. And then it's like, okay, well now the whole thing just works. Now
So-
build a level on top of it.
So like if you pulled outside of the boat, like where you would never be, is there actually just like a big artificial tub of water in which this boat is sitting?
Kind
or
of.
is it just okay?
Kind of. It kind of stretches to infinity.
Oh, it does stretch to
A little
infinity.
bit,
All right.
but,
a little bit.
a
A
little
little
bit.
infinity.
A little bit of infinity.
Millions and
I couldn't
millions of
speak.
vertexes on the distance.
But yeah,
to
it
infinity.
gets like as the camera gets closer to the water, it gets more detailed. So like if you pull out, it gets like super low res, and so yeah, it's like our guy Carlos who did the water is like crazy. Like you move the camera really close to the water, like where you're never even gonna get that close to it, and it's like super amazing looking. And then you like pull way out, and you like, oh okay, it looks the same, but it's using way less, processing power or whatever.
The technologies.
And
The
So
technologies,
many
man.
technologies. It's just intense to listen to you guys talk. I mean, about developing this game, and you were talking about the pressures of like Naughty Dog, along with probably Team Ico, I guess, are like considered the marquee, Sony first party studio. So it's like, there must be intense pressure. And what Greg and I were talking about when we started playing the game was like how impressive it is that you guys finished the game in 2 years. Because and also I thought what was impressive was the jump from Drake's Fortune to Among Thieves was super impressive. And again, it's like Among Thieves, I think like I didn't think it could have gotten much better graphically or in terms of character development or anything from Among Thieves, but it seems like there's another jump. Totally. Another like it's like it's insane to watch you see what you guys can do.
It's
with
one of
that
those
machine.
things. Like it struck me when we finally got to see more single player content at that Vita thing, and we went upstairs and they started in the desert and whatnot. We don't know what's happened right before it, but just the way Drake's moving and the way he's stumbling, it's like oh something bad has happened. He screwed up, and then he like falls down at one point. And he gets up and there's sand in his hair and it's all over his body. It's
yeah.
like Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we had it was so the animation. First of all, we got Jeremy. He's our comic
Jeremy
book
Yates.
animator. He's insane. And like Uncharted 2, like we have this crazy getting technical again, but it's interesting.
No,
we're loving it. Yeah,
just
you're doing
keep
great.
talking.
So in Uncharted 2, it was like when you take cover and like stand idly, it's like one pose. That's just like one frame animation. And then we layer all these animations on top of that, like him breathing and his like head turning and his facial and stuff. It's all like other animations that are kind of looping on top of it on like random intervals and stuff, so that you get this kind of dynamic, living, breathing person. And but he's just standing there, and it's just a pose. And then cover, he's just in a pose. And we have like 2 sets of animations on Uncharted 2. Is like your tense movement, where you kind of move a little faster when you're in combat, and then you're like relaxed mode, where you're like exploring and there's no guys around, and you kind of you move a little slower and it's more deliberate. And in Uncharted 3, like we have like in the desert alone, there's probably like 4 or 5 different move sets for each tense and relaxed mode.
Jesus.
And instead of just being a pose for being in cover, it's a full streaming like 1800 frame animation.
Yeah.
So like Jeremy's like, we mocap like walking on sand and all this craziness, and Jeremy's like, yeah, it's like get more like each level almost has its own completely unique set of moveset animation.
We're crazy.
Or multiple
I
sets of
don't know
moveset.
how you guys physically exist.
Well, in a more general aspect to what Colin was saying is that everybody at Naughty Dog is really passionate. Like that's how we do this, and there's always this kind of funny point. It's like usually in the second year where we always kind of sit there and we kind of like, we've done all this groundwork and laying out like everything we're going to do to finish this game, and then we get to this point where we're like, all right, we have 9 months to finish this, and then we just mad scramble to get it done, and we just cross our fingers and it happens somehow. So talent,
Man.
It
Talent and
is.
passion.
It's really impressive.
And working a lot of hours.
Yeah,
Yes.
I can only imagine.
I mean, you talked about, in Uncharted 2, the train came together at the very last second. Like, were you like just heading against a wall or desk when like?
Well, the train coming together very last second is kind of not really true, because we had like the engine and like we had to rewrite like
train was
that.
like the first level that they
It
set
was
out
the
to
first
do
thing they
of
tried to
Uncharted
do.
2.
So
why
it
the
was
fuck
like
did you lie to
working-
me earlier in this podcast?
well,
You're making me look like an amateur.
final
words on it.
final tweaks of the technology was being.
But it's like built. It's like workable, right? Like
Yeah.
it works enough, and it's like okay. Then once you start building the levels, you're like, oh, like throwing grenades doesn't work on the train because you're moving at 60 miles an hour. Oh crap! And then you like start realizing, oh, we have to rewrite a lot of systems for this to work. So like as you're going through making the level, you're seeing what's broken, and then the programmers magically fix it.
Iteration is a big word at Naughty Dog.
Yeah.
Like,
So
do you ever worry about falling short? I mean, like, it's one of because like the reason I bring up the train is because when I first went and saw Uncharted 2 and they showed this blah blah, blah they talked about the train and how like we can't show it yet, but this and they didn't say it because it's not working or whatever. But like the train's moving and the cars are individual and blah blah blah, and like it's like, are you guys listening to them say that? You're like, yeah, God, okay.
no, I mean, there's a lot of confidence. I mean, we have the best programmers, like pretty much the best everybody in everything. At least we're like, yeah,
We're totally
gonna
awesome.
Humble in this room.
I think that's pretty. I mean, and it's,
But like we have amazing people. Myself not included, maybe.
This is kinda
make
true.
that whatever.
This guy's
But
amazing, actually. So short.
We trust the departments that they're going to deliver on what we want. And if we get to the point where we think that something's not going to work, it's just too much work. It's never like, can we do it? It's like, how long is it going to take to do it, and whether it's worth it to have it in the game.
And
for the bang for the buck. Like the
do
train level
you-
we knew was like, we gotta have this. Like, so 100%. The only thing we want in this game is the train level. Like, that's the only thing. So we have to do it. So it was never a question of whether we were gonna have it. It was just how long, and it turned out like it was gonna take a really long time. So, but then the benefits we got from that, just from having to rewrite the engine, all the physics.
Game of the year.
So
it seems
yeah,
like
it was worth it.
the talent like that you're talking about. I mean, it seems like it's a self-fulfilling prophecy in a way, because I mean, it's like you guys are obviously clearly quite talented in every respect because the games come together so well. But then you attract the best talent because you're already so good. So it seems like the rise is like almost meteoric in a way. It's like if you have like a great artist that is at another studio and he looks at Naughty Dog and he's like, man, I have to be really good to get in there. Maybe he is really good, and then he gets in, and then he raises the level even to another degree, and then so on and so forth.
I mean, that's just. I mean, not just Naughty Dog. There's several great game companies in the industry. It's amazing, and it's such a tight, community. I mean, everybody knows everybody, and Never Burn Bridge is an amazing community. So I mean, yeah, like we have tons of friends coming, that we recommend and all kind of stuff, and they have to get it on their own, of course, but it's very tight knit. So.
One of my questions when you guys were mentioning how just massive your studio is, because when I think, 150 full-time people, and that's not even including your contract work, correct? Yes, about that. So when I'm thinking that, I imagine to myself, man, there's, what the... I'm sorry, I just got distracted because Greg did a funny post.
Yeah, sorry. I've had enough of you two.
Okay.
So I'm going to leave.
Okay,
It always breaks my heart to leave in the middle of a show, but I have to actually go record my Uncharted 3 video script. So I will go do that. And
Just come back.
No,
We'll keep it going.
when this is done, I think we have the post-mortem in 15 minutes.
Well,
We have
this
an
is-
editorial
this-
meeting.
I mean,
Your call.
I say we should keep going until we're good.
I agree. No, I keep going till the show's been great. Show's
We
dynamite.
do have to go to that meeting though.
Show's dynamite.
Okay.
Do what you have to do.
Got it.
I got to go do this.
All right.
Kurt, David, it's been a pleasure.
Absolutely.
Ladies and gentlemen, remember they're doing they're part of the live stream tonight. I will be interviewing them again. We will ask different
We'll be
questions,
around.
harder
We'll be
questions. They can't run. You'll see how handsome they are. So look at that on IGN.com. Bye,
Thanks,
guys.
Greg.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right. No, so all I was saying is that even in the IGN editorial and in our company, that we probably have fewer people. I don't know the exact number, and so I think man, I don't really even know everyone around the office and whatnot. And then I think to myself, do you guys actually know just everyone? Are there some people obviously there are going to be people better than others because you work with them more frequently, but. How does that work? You have scooters to ride around to get around your office. It's something. It's a juggernaut.
You'd be surprised how many names you can remember.
Yeah.
Because we work with so many people that you just kind of you break it down, and when you say 150 people, I'm like, wow, that is a lot. And then you're like, yeah, I guess you start counting up. You're like, yeah, it is. Yeah, okay. I guess there are that many people.
And you know every single one of them,
Well,
and their birthdays and their parents' names.
I used to pride myself in knowing everybody at the company, and it's a really cool feeling. But then, because Night Dog kind of has this kind of garage studio kind of feel to it, and the fact that everyone does their own job. We don't have producers telling you what to do. It's a little different. But there's definitely a certain point when we had to get it done. And we were just hiring this contractor to help us just finish this game. And I was just like, all right, and I got to work too. I'm like, okay, well, I'm at my desk. I don't know half this company anymore, but you guys are all great.
Yeah, there you go. All right, cool. Colin, what else we got, man?
Yeah, let's do some quick ones.
All right.
I like this question. This is from Bulltoad from My IGN.
Okay.
He asks, when's the Uncharted kart racer going to be announced?
Oh boy. Right
We were talking about that on the way over here. We were making notes
Confirmed.
titles.
Uncarded.
Drake's
Uncarded.
last lap.
Drake's final lap.
So for people that don't know, the joke obviously with Naughty Dog is that the fourth game in every series, or I guess the other two series that you guys have done, has been a kart racer. So everyone's always just been asking if Uncharted will get the kart racing treatment like Jack
never know.
and crashed it.
Drake will be riding carts on planes.
Yeah, it's like
Carts on planes.
What was I going to ask you? One quick, can I interject
please,
real
of
fast?
course.
Do you guys ever, I don't want you to reveal anything secret, but as on a personal level, do you guys ever have a desire to go back to a more traditional cartoon animated style? Not to say to lower the quality, but to say to use the vast experience you've accumulated from doing photorealistic work and applying it to kind of just make the best damn looking cartoon game imaginable.
Well, on the art side, right?
Yeah.
Everyone at Naughty Dog is very passionate, especially on the art side. They're always trying to expand their horizons, trying to do these new things with the cool new technology we have and what we've learned. We definitely always focus on what's at hand, So, with Uncharted.
Everyone's a fan of stylized animation.
Absolutely,
too. Everyone loves Pixar. Everyone. There's a guy that has Muppets on his desk, Muppets, Keon's.
But
Muppets.
even Uncharted actually is a bit stylized. Nothing is photoreal. It's all, what we call it. It's hyper real is what we call it.
All
And
the textures are hand painted.
the animations are just little.
The facial animation is done by hand, just because the way the animators can do it, it's just better than if you were to try
But we
to
definitely-
photo capture it.
Yeah, we definitely like those styles as well.
Yeah,
but we
cool.
focus on what's in hand.
All right, cool,
Yeah.
man.
Personally, for me, I don't know, as a designer, to me it's you got to start looking at the business aspects of a cartoony game, because it's not is viable anymore, right? Because you see Call of Duty and everything.
Well-
Not to say that it couldn't be, but I think that's maybe the main reason why you don't see so many anymore. The Ratchet and Clank thing is seen now as a kid's game.
Yeah.
We also we make games that we want to play. So
Yeah.
we want to play Uncharted.
We're
So-
we're an older audience, right? So plus we're drawn to grounded storytelling in kind of grounded realities, and
Yeah.
we think that kind of makes the player feel a little more attached to the story because it's like more relatable. It's kind of what the Uncharted series has been about. We don't do like jetpacks and crazy stuff like in the single player. It's like, it's all kind of realistic, everyman thing, and we think that that's part of why the Uncharted has such an appeal to so many people.
Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
Let's see what's next. Nehemiah asks, what would an extra year of development time done for the developer's sanity and for the game's quality? Was there anything you wish you could have put in, time permitting?
Well, and say if they gave us another year, we would have gone crazy for another year as well. Like we never.
Yeah.
It's another year of adding cool stuff. So.
I'm glad that we're Naughty Dog has never like missed a date or delayed a game, and that's kind of where we pride ourselves on that. So it's like we're gonna make a game in 2 years. We're gonna make a game in 2 years, and we know from the start that we have a date that can't move. Especially since Uncharted 3, the first time ever we announced the date at the beginning, 11/1/11. It was like, oh, we've never done that before. So
Right.
Before we've had like kind of a moving target. We knew the holiday season, whatever, but we'd look at the schedule and be like, okay, when does it actually come out? And now it's like 11/1/11. Oh, okay, we can't miss that date. We've already announced it in the beginning. So it helps us a lot when we're doing design and stuff to be like, okay, we have to recognize early like when we're going too big, to scale it back, to move things around. So like we never, when there is like crazy stuff or something that is going to take a lot more tech, like I said, it's not a matter of whether we can do it or not, it's whether we can do it in time. So it's a matter of like managing our time, being like, okay, what's the bang for the buck, what's like impactful to the player, what's a cool experience, and we decide based on that and always try to scale everything back to make it manageable to make in 2 years.
Right. It's hard to believe that you guys scale anything back in Uncharted, having played the game. It's just I'm so impressed. I know Clemens is too, and like I said, I can't believe you guys make these games in 2 years.
I don't understand. I can't believe you guys make it the game at all. If the Uncharted games took like 5 or 6 years, I'd be like, I believe it. I mean, that it's ridiculous. I mean, look at all the stuff that's happening.
Well, I mean, because you see, I mean, I always poke fun at Team Eco for taking like forever with their games or whatever, and it's like, it's the proof's in the pudding with Naughty Dog. It's like a great game, a great series can be on a 2-year development cycle.
Well, it's it's the talent, passion, experience, and we have people at Naughty Dog who've been there since Crash 1, and that's almost 20 years of experience.
It's rare.
In one
rare
person.
in the industry to have
very
people
old
that have been
company,
there for that long.
Yeah, it's
I
awesome.
feel like when I'm here for 3 years, it's like I'm a noob. Like there's guys that have been around. They've been around
a long ass time.
That I interviewed Ben's studio last month for like a history of piece of them, and they were talking about when they put out Bubsy and Naughty Dog put out Crash around the same time, and how they saw Crash 1 and it was using textures, and it was like kind of like it wasn't like a non-linear like open world like they made Bubsy, and they said like how they came back from E3 that year and how fucked they thought they were gonna be.
Hey, Kyle. I also, because I drank a lot of water, I am also going to bow out now. And if I don't make it back, because I don't know how many more questions do we have time for.
Let's wrap it up. I mean, I have.
Oh my God, so much water. So much water filling my body.
Let's just wrap it up because we have to go to that meeting anyway. So.
Okay, buddy. Sounds good. Well, dudes, I can't thank you enough for joining us. This has been totally and utterly radical.
Thanks for
and I'm
having
going
us.
to make the outro of Podcast Beyond episode 211 kind of quick. Chris sent in some sweet stuff from their band Life in 24 Frames, and we are going to play a track off of their album called Girl Who Cried Wolf. I really dug this song, actually. I was telling Colin and Greg I was really thankful and appreciative. They're a Sacramento-based band, and really liking it, so I would love to see them perform if they come up into the Bay. If you want to listen to their stuff, lifein24frames.com. 24 is the number, not spelled out.
Very cool.
This has been Podcast Beyond. Joining us, Naughty Dog, David and Kurt. Thank you so much, gentlemen.
Quickly, do you guys want to give a shout out for your Twitter accounts or anything like that?
Oh, yeah, sure. You can follow me at DBAL, DBAL.
I'm at Kurt Margenau. Oh boy.
Okay.
It's KurtMargenau.
Okay.
They'll have to slow that down to get that.
Uncharted 3 Drake's Deception comes out November 1st. Our review goes up on Monday. I think it's the 24th, maybe?
24th, correct.
So you want to check that out. Greg will put that up Monday morning. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us.
Thank you.
I'm No Taxation on Twitter. Clements is Plum
Plum
Cider.
Cider.
Greg is Game Over Greggy. Come to IGN.com, read all of our stuff. Come to IGN PS3, read all that stuff. We will talk to you next week. Clements, take us out with
Next
this song.
week. Enjoyed. And Life in 24 Frames. This is Girl Who Cried Wolf.
Beyond.
Beyond.